Lisa.
All right. Can you all see my screen? Okay. So last time, what we did was, wait, hold on a second. All right. I think. There we go. Okay. So everyone, last time what we did was, well, we added in the enemies. You can see here that we have the tank enemy and we have the soldier enemy that we designed last time. You can move around now, but when you shoot the enemy, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't really do anything. So we'll be adding that functionality in. So right now for the bullet, it can pass through the enemy. If you go to the bullet code real quick, over here we have a repeat until touching edge or touching um or something else. And now we're going to actually place something there. So go ahead and go to sensing and then place touching enemy because we want the bullet to disappear when it's touching the enemy as well. All right, touching enemy, there we go. So now when it touches an enemy, the bullet disappears.
What did you do?
Can you see my screen? Just to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I went to bullet code and then over here in the repeat until I added a touching enemy sensing block. So now the bullet will disappear when it touches an enemy or it touches the edge. So if you take a look, when I hit the enemy, the bullet disappears. Either of the enemies. But right now it doesn't do any damage. So we'll have to change that. All right. But after we touch the enemy, it's going to activate this delete this clone. So it's going to disappear. But right before that, we want it to pause for a little while so that we can register it for the enemy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to control and then we're going to drag out a wait 1 second block. But we're going to change that 1 second to 0 seconds because wait 0 seconds, what it actually does is it waits 1 tick, the smallest amount of time possible. So it doesn't actually wait no seconds. All right, does everyone have this? Does anyone need more time? Okay, and I think we can move on. Let's go to enemy code now. So we're going to actually code in the enemy getting hit. All right. So here you can see the two different types of enemies we have, enemy type 1 and enemy type 2. In these two, when I start as clones. In both of these, actually, let's not place it in the code first. We're going to actually drag out an if statement to somewhere new, just an if statement. And then we're going to go to sensing, and then we're going to drag out a touching bullet because we want to check whether the enemy is touching the bullet. Okay, now we're going to go to variables, and then we're going to make a new variable. We're going to call it enemy health, and make sure it's for this sprite only. Ensures that each sprite has, each clone has a different instance of the variable. So for this sprite only, enemy health, and then click OK. We can hide it right now. We can hide it instantly, I mean. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the two clone when I start as clone blocks. And then before the forever loop in both of them, we're going to set enemy health to 0 in both of them. We're actually going to set it to something. So I think, how many hits do you want it? How many hits do you want the soldier to survive? I think 5 would work well. So we shoot it 5 times to kill it. And then for the tank, it should be stronger. So let's do like 20. So 20 hits.
Can I do like 10?
Yeah, of course. You can change it. And make sure it's outside the forever loop. So this is the setup, and then below here is the forever loop. So what's going to happen during the run? But when it spawns in, these things are going to happen. So make sure you put it outside of the forever loop. That's very important, everyone. Or else your enemies are going to be invincible. All right. Huh?
Funny.
Okay. Now inside this if touching bullet, we're going to change enemy health by -1 because we want to reduce the health by 1 each time it gets hit. And then we want the enemy to flash for a bit to show that you've hit it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to looks, and then we're going to drag out a set color effect to 0. And we're going to change the color effect to brightness. And then you can right click to duplicate it, or you can drag out another one. Anyways, we want 2 of them. We want 2 of these. And then in between, we're going to add a wait 1 second block. So sandwich them. So to get it to the brightness, you can just change this box. So for and it's in looks, by the way, and it's set color effect to 0, and then you can change it to brightness. For the first one, for the first set brightness effect 2, we're going to set it to like 50. And then we're going to wait a small brief amount of time. So let's wait 0.1 seconds. So the enemy will pause during that time. And then let's put that in after change enemy health by -1. All right. So now once you have this code, you can right click it at the very top at the if space. So over here at the if, you can right click it, and then you can have this menu, and then you want to click duplicate. So you can have 2 of these. So separate them. Now you have 2 of them. Separate them. You should have 2 of the exact same things, and they should both contain if touching bullet, change enemy health by -1, set brightness effect to 50, wait 0.1 seconds, and then set brightness effect to 0. Now, once we have these, we want to place these inside the forever loops of both of them after moving one step and after moving the other step. So make sure you put it in the forever loop. So this is what we're going to do. The first one for enemy type 1, we're going to put it right after the move one step. So now when you click the flag and you hit the enemy, it stops for a brief second because it's getting hit, and it also flashes white. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing for the tank enemy, where enemy type 2 is equal to 2. So in this other, when I started the clone, we're going to place it below the if inside the forever loop. So below the move 0.5 steps, below that if. So be careful. Don't put it inside the if. Put it like after the if. If distance to player is greater than 150. Make sure you put it after it. That's really important because we don't want it to only get affected by the bullet if the distance is greater than 150. So now we can try that out on the tank. Boom. I think it works pretty well.
Oh, mine doesn't flash.
Yours doesn't what now?
Mine doesn't flash.
Doesn't? Okay, so I think what the problem may be is that you may not have changed the brightness to 50 here. For the first one, we're going to have to change it to 50. Did you do that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what changes the brightness. Because when brightness effect is 0, it doesn't do anything. But when brightness effect is like between 1 and 100, then it changes the brightness. And 100 is the brightest, of course. It's going to be like completely white. And then 50 is somewhere in the middle. So we're going to set it to 50, and then after a very short amount of time, 0.1 seconds, we're going to set brightness back to 0 to reset it. So boom, now you can shoot both of them. Just like that. Also, you see how this enemy right now, once this soldier enemy gets near us, it starts like spasming. It starts going in all directions and flashing, boom. I think we can fix that real quick if we copy some of the tank code. So what we're going to copy is this code over here, the if here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to control, and we're going to drag out an if. If then. And then after that, we're going to go to operators and then grab a greater than symbol. Greater than comparison thingy. Now we're going to go to sensing, and then we're going to drag out a distance to block. So it should be the fourth one in sensing, right up here, distance to. Now this checks the distance to a certain thing, so we're going to make sure it checks the distance to player. And let's say greater than 5. So it'll only move if the distance is greater than 5. So let's loop that around the move one step. So make sure you put it around that, and then you drag out the if touching bullet to the outside of the if loop. That's really important. So all I did was I added this if loop around the move 1 steps right here. Make sure you put the other if outside of the if loop. That's really important. It's really important you do that.
Hello, I just joined. What happened?
Oh, okay. What happened was we added this code right here. So this if statement in the enemy code and this if statement down here. And we added an if around the move 1 steps right over here. So if you could quickly do that, then you'll be caught up. And I'll make sure to wait a bit. All right? And actually, everyone, I think we should change this number to like 20. So that the enemy is farther away. Yeah, there we go. So that doesn't go inside our kind of tank. That's pretty nice. Actually, maybe even 25 works. We'll see. We'll see. Let's do like 22, actually. Yeah, 22 looks pretty nice for me. Make sure, okay, so y'all can change this number to anything you want, as long as it's like pretty small, like 20 something, or maybe 10 something, but just make sure that when it gets near your tank, it's touching your tank when it stops. So you can see how it's touching my tank when it stops. That's really important. But if you're just following along, you can just do 22 and change this distance to player greater than 22.
Oh,
Yeah, so what this code does is it ensures that the enemy only moves if it's greater than 22 pixels away. So if it's within the 22 pixel radius, then it'll stop moving, which makes it more realistic because I mean, you can't phase through a tank, right? And it also makes sure that they don't like start randomly just like yeah, spinning inside your tank. So I think this is a good enough value. And it looks like it's actually attacking the tank to a certain degree, of course. All right.
will we program how if the enemies touch us, we will lose points?
Oh yeah, we will code that eventually.
Okay.
All right, but now, for now, by the way, does anyone need more time?
Me, definitely me.
All right. Are you almost done yet?
I'm like halfway there.
Okay. I'll wait. So so what we need to do now is the enemies, they are not they're losing health, yes, but they're not actually dying. So their health goes to the negative values. It's like I hit this enemy 5 times, and now it's -10 or something like that, and now it's like -20. So we want to make sure that the enemy disappears once once its health goes below 1. So when it's equal to 0 or less than 0. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this extra code down in the empty space below so that we can get started, but you can you can still continue to get all the code, put all the code in. And I'll make sure to do it slowly to explain everything and so you can catch up. All right. So what we're going to do for everyone here is we're going to drag on an if, then I'm going to place it down here. And since we want to check if the health is less than or equal to 0, we can just do if the health is less than 1. So go to operators and then drag out a less than. For the second spot, we're going to put 1. For the first slot, we're going to go to variables. Then we're going to drag out enemy health. Make sure it's enemy health and not player health. Enemy health.
Wait, I don't have the enemy health variable.
Oh, right. You have to create that. So make sure you create a variable named enemy health and make sure it's for this sprite only. It's really important that it's for this sprite only. All right? Just name it enemy health like this.
Okay.
Make sure it's for this sprite only. For this sprite only.
All right. Is that it?
Yep. And now
Okay.
you can implement this thing as well. Change enemy health by -1, change enemy health by -1. That reduces the enemy health.
Okay.
Yeah. And what you can do is actually you don't need to do like both of these. You can just do one of them, and then you can do right click and duplicate, and then you can copy it to the other one to do it faster. All right. All right, everyone. How do y'all want the enemy to die? Do you just want it to disappear? Or should we do a little something when it dies? So we can make it just disappear instantly. That's the easiest way. And actually, right now, we'll just make it disappear. So actually go to Control and then scroll down a bit and you'll find delete this clone. And then just put it in the if. But before delete this clone, we can put some animations if you all want. Maybe an explosion or something like that. Or maybe like a poof smoke or whatever. If you all want, of course. That's going to make it more complicated. I don't think we should do blood. It's a bit gruesome. But yeah, I mean, I guess we could just keep it simple then. Just do delete this clone. So now what we're going to do is we're going to right click the if then, and then we're going to click duplicate because we want to put these in both the enemies. So what this does, again, just to review, is it checks whether the enemy health is lower than 1. So if it's like 0 or negative, then it just deletes the enemy because it has died. But let me see, let me take a look at what, okay. All right, so eventually, I think we should have like this kind of money system. So let's make a variable, a new variable. Everyone make a new variable, and let's name it money. That's it. For all sprites, money. And we can keep it shown. Now, when we kill an enemy like the soldier, we're gonna gain some money. All right. So let's drag out a change enemy health by 1, and let's change it to money. Change money by. And how much money do you think we should gain for killing soldier? I think 1 just works. But I think tank we need to earn more money. So let's change money by 1 for enemy for tank as well. But what number do you all see?
I don't have the variable money.
Oh yeah. We just created that. So make a variable and name it money and make sure it's for all sprites.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, does anyone have any suggestions for the amount of money we get for destroying an enemy tank? Because the enemy tank has 20 health and it's also range. It's going to shoot us from far away. It's going to be a bit more powerful. So you should probably give us more money, right? But not too much more money. What number do you think, do y'all think would work? Maybe changing money by 5?
5?
Oh yeah. That's a good idea. 5. Really like that. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, we can do change money by 5. All right. And now once we have this, I'm thinking, is there anything else we need to do with this? I don't think so. I think we can just place it in now. And make sure you snap it inside the forever loop. So the forever loop is notated by this arrow you can see right here. This arrow going up that displays the loop, that signifies the loop. So we're going to place that above that arrow. Snap it in above that arrow. Same thing here, just directly above that arrow. Now we can test it out. If we shoot the tank, I think it will die. Yeah, there we go. It died. It disappeared. Did you all see that? And my money increased by 5. So right now I have 6. If I kill the tank, it increases by 5, and now it goes to 11. How about increasing, how about hitting a normal soldier? Just dies like instantly? One, two, three, four. Yeah, just like that. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Yeah, our money system works as well. That's nice. Now we don't have any sounds yet, but in the future I think we should add some like the money sounds like whatever, ka-ching or whatever. And also bullet sounds probably like a little pew. Yeah? Do you have a question?
Yeah, there's something wrong with it. It's like whenever I kill like one, both of them disappear.
Oh, okay. So that was a problem with enemy health. So you didn't create the variable with for this sprite only. Did you do it with for this sprite only?
I don't know. Let me.
I don't think you're able to check it. So, and I think that's definitely the problem. So for you, what we can do is we're going to make a new variable and we're going to call it enemy health 2. And then do it for this sprite only. For this sprite only. Make sure this time that it's for this sprite only. All right? Do you have that?
Yes.
Okay. Now once you have enemy health 2, you're going to replace all the enemy health with enemy health 2. Only for you.
I'll just do that.
Nobody else should be doing this because we're just fixing So replace all 4 instances of enemy health. Actually, 6. Because you have this one here, 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 and this one here. Also, by the way, do you have all the other code done?
Yes.
Great. All right. Does anyone need more time? So everyone's done then, I'm assuming? Okay, great. So now there's one little thing we gotta deal with. Money doesn't reset when we click the flag. We want it to go back to 0. We want it to reset every single time, right? We don't just want to have the player be able to stack them. So right here, still in the enemy sprite. Actually, should we do it in the enemy sprite? I feel like we should do it in the player sprite. So let's go to the player. So in the player sprite, we have a when I receive start game header, and then we set a bunch of variables over here. These 3 variables. We're going to add one extra. We're just going to set money to 0 below all of that. Just like that. All right. Now that everyone should have the set money to 0, let's actually make it so the player can get damaged by the enemy. So control shooting, let's see. Okay, so all right, I got it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate in the player sprite. We're gonna duplicate this when I receive start game forever control shooting reload time. So duplicate, just like that. We're going to remove the control shooting in the clone, in the duplicate of the script. So remove that. Now we're going to focus on this, all right? So now we're gonna, in this forever loop, we're gonna check an if. We're gonna use an if. And then we're gonna go to sensing, and then we're gonna check whether we're touching the enemy or not. So forever if touching enemy. All right. Now if we are touching the enemy, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change player health by -1. We want the player to lose its health. Now what happens is when we touch an enemy, boom, our health instantly goes down. Now it's in negatives. So that's bad. We don't want that to happen. We want it to change. We want to lose health, like one health, like let's say every like half a second or so, if it's touching an enemy. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little animation. So just like the enemies, we're going to go to looks, and then we're going to drag out a set color effect to 0, and we're going to change it to brightness. Set brightness effect to 0. And then similarly as well, we're going to go to control again, and then we're going to drag out a wait 1 second block. Now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate both of these blocks, and I'm going to put one after the other. So set brightness effect to 0, and then wait 1 second, and set brightness effect to 0, and then wait 1 second. And then finally, we're going to put a repeat loop around it. A repeat something loop, not a forever loop, a repeat 10 loop. And we're going to put it around the entire 4 blocks. Okay. Now we're going to set the value. So we want this to repeat 2 times. All right. Actually, maybe 3 times. 3 times. We're going to set brightness effect to 50 for the first one so that it shines a bit. It's brighter. And then for the wait seconds, we're going to do wait 0.1 seconds. The second brightness effect, we're going to set to 0, which it already is. And then the final wait second, we're going to wait 0.1 seconds again. Now we can drag all of this inside after the change player health by -1, inside the if loop, inside the if. All right, so now let's test it out. Click the flag and let the enemy touch you. Now, once it has reached you, you should start flashing a bit, and you should start losing health, like not super fast, but like 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, like that quick. So actually, basically, like should feel like about 0.6 seconds. And now if you run away, you should eventually stop flashing. Or not even. Okay. So now we have touching the enemies down. So if we like touch that enemy, then we get hurt. If we touch the other enemy, we also get hurt. So both enemies hurt us if we touch them, if we contact them. But now we need to deal with well, the player losing. So if our player has less than 1 health, so if it's like 0 or below, then we want the game to end. So what we're going to do is in this same forever loop, we're going to add another if below the if we already have. So right here. And then how we're going to do this? We're going to check using an operator. So a less than. And then the second one, we're going to put 1. Second space, second parameter. All right. Now we're going to, in the first place, we're going to go to variables, and then we're going to drag out a player health. So when player health is less than 1, we're simply going to do one thing. We're going to go to control, and then we're going to drag out a stop all. So everything just ends. Everything just stops. For now. In the future, we can change that. All right. So yeah, I think we should check out if the code works. So run into an enemy and just make yourself lose. Let the enemy hit you multiple times. Just stand there maybe, and then we'll check. So the player health is going down for me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Boom. Mine stopped. If it's not working, you should tell me right now.
Mine work.
Okay, that's good. All right, now we need to create the bullet for the enemy. So let's go to the bullet, and then go to costumes, and then go ahead and just highlight your bullet costume, and then click copy. Just click copy. So now it's going to be saved to your copy board, right? Or your clipboard. Yep.
What did we do again?
Well, yeah, we go to bullet, and then we just go to the costumes, and then here we have the costume for the bullet. And then we're going to highlight it all by selecting like this box around it, highlight it, all your bullet, and then click the copy button right up here. So now we should have it copied so we can paste it somewhere else, but we're not going to do that just yet. All right, now we're going to go to the enemy sprite, and then we're going to go down here to the bottom left, and then choose, and then hover over choose costume, and then paint our own costume, a new one. And we're going to name this Tank Bullet. And then we want to click the button that says paste. So now we have moved our bullet to the enemy sprite, the bullet costume to the enemy sprite. Now, Now you can customize it a bit. I'm gonna change it to a different color to represent that it's to show that it's the enemy's bullet and not ours. So I'm gonna make it some kind of like maybe a bit like more reddish, just like that, different from ours to distinguish it. Okay, now we're gonna go to the code. And then we're gonna go to my blocks. Actually, wait. Um, yeah, we're gonna go to my blocks. And then we're gonna make a block and name it spawn bullet. Spawn enemy bullet, sorry. Spawn enemy bullet. And make sure you click run without screen refresh. Run without screen refresh. Make sure to tick this box. Run without screen refresh. And then once you're done, you can click OK. So we're going to drag this to some empty space. I'm going to drag it to my right, the very right side, next to the spawn enemy. And then we're going to go to variables, and then we're going to drag out set enemy type to bullet. Make sure you spell bullet correctly. That's pretty important later on. Now, once we do that, we're going to copy this code that we had in spawn enemy, the show, create, clone, and hide. So we're going to hover over show, right click, and then click duplicate. Once you have these three blocks, just move it to the spawn enemy bullet. So show, create a clone of myself, and then hide. And actually, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the spawn enemy bullet, the define part of it, and we're going to right click it, and then we're going to click edit because I forgot to add some things. So once you're in edit, you should be in this menu where you created it again. So we're going to edit the text to have spawn enemy bullet, and then we're going to add a slash slash. And then we're going to do X, add an input, and then also call it X. And make sure the input is the circular one, not the triangular one. And then add another label, call it Y, and then add an input called an X. Oh, sorry, not X, called Y this time. So it should be label, input, label, input. None of it should be the second input, just the first input. And then we're going to also add another label, and we're going to call it direction. And then we're going to add a final input and call it direction as well.
What did you guys just do? Because like my computer just completely logged me out of everything.
Oh, what we just did was we edited. Well, how far ago? When did you
Like 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago? Oh boy. So then I guess create a new block. So go down to the and actually no, make sure you're in enemy sprite first. Go to the enemy sprite and then go down to my blocks and then click make a block.
And I need right.
Once you're there, here's what we did with the block. So we had a label right over here, spawn bullet enemy X, and then we had an input right over here, X, and then a label Y, and then an input Y, and then a label direction, and then an input direction. And then we also made sure to tick this box, the run without screen refresh, and make sure all the inputs are this input, not this input, not this one.
Wait,
And
which
all
one?
the labels are this one. The first one. So this one.
Oh,
Yeah. The circular one.
not all we did.
Um, I don't think so. But once we're done with that, everyone, we're gonna click OK, of course. But what else I did was once I created that block, once we created that block, what we did was we add the following code: set enemy type to bullet, show, then create a clone of myself, then hide. So just go ahead and copy that real quick.
Is that the one you just added? Is
Sorry, what?
that the one you just added?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And then for everyone as well, for everyone, this is for everyone. We're gonna drag out a go to X, Y, and then we're gonna place it before everything here. And then we're gonna drag in the X and the Y we had for the inputs. So just like that. And then we're also gonna set the direction. So point in direction, and then drag in the direction that we had in the defined, the purple one. Or yeah, that's the reddish kinda, the reddish one, I should say more.
How long is this class?
Sorry, what?
How much longer is class?
Just 5 more minutes.
Okay.
All right. So I think we all have this code ready now. And also, Jasmine, make sure you go to costumes in enemy. Make sure you create a new costume called Tank Bullet and make sure it's just like this small little bullet.
Oh yeah,
Similar.
I did do that one.
Oh, you did do that? Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we can move on now. So now that we have this code, we can go to tank. And then you all see how we have this if here, if the distance of player is greater than 150. We're gonna modify that. But for now, first we're gonna go to control and then we're gonna drag on an if, then else. In the operator in the if, we're gonna drag this if distance is greater than 150 inside that one. Just like that. And now we're going to drag the move 0.5 steps into the top of it. So if it's too far away, then it's going to move closer by moving 0.5 steps. But if it's close enough, it's going to start shooting. So now what we can do is we can disconnect everything below the if we had previously, delete the if we had previously, and replace it with the if else. And then put everything below the if else, below the if else. Everything that you removed, to make sure to put it below the if else. Just like that. All right, now in the else, we are actually gonna, you know what? I think I'm realizing something. Yeah, okay. I know what we need to do now. So actually, we're gonna separate the enemy health thing from the main. This is actually, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So everyone, can y'all please separate this if touching bullet and the if enemy health less than 1 away from it? Now we're going to drag out another when I start as clone, and then another if, a new if, and then an operator that's equal, and then variable enemy type, and then equate it to 2, so if it's equal to 2, and then another forever loop. And then, actually, no, I'll wait a bit for everyone to get here.
Is class over?
Soon. It'll be over real soon, all right? So now what we're going to do is on the original, when I start as clone, we're going to disconnect the forever loop, and then we're going to move the set enemy health to 20 down to the second one before the forever loop. And then we're going to put the forever loop back in the first one. And then for the forever loop in the second one, we're going to drag what we have outside inside the forever. Just like that. And then finally, in this else space in the original, when I started as clone, we're going to drag out a wait something seconds and put it in there. And then we're
Wait,
going to go
what
to,
did you do to the when I start as clone if enemy type equals 2
I
again?
placed the other stuff in there. So now I have 2 of them, right? So now I placed all the enemy health stuff in here. So all of this. And I removed it from the first one.
Ooh.
Just like that. Yeah. All right. So now after the wait 1 second, so we're going to drag out, go to my blocks and drag out a spawn enemy bullet. For X, we're gonna do we're gonna go to motion and then scroll down a bit, and then we're gonna find X position, Y position, and direction, the blue ones, and put them in the respective spots. So X position, Y position, direction. Just like that. All right, everyone. So right now it's going to be a bit broken, but class is over for today, so we'll continue this next time. All right? So make sure you stop your project and you click save now. And then once you have it saved, you may leave now. So have a great week.
Okay. Um, yeah, bye, I guess.
Bye.
Hi, thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, thank you.
Bye. All right. I'm going to end the meeting now.